I started with photos. Every angle, every slab, every crushed willow, I photographed it like it was a crime scene. I took shots at dawn when the light was soft, at noon when the concrete glared like an accusation, and at night when the riverbed looked like a graveyard under moonlight. I labeled every image, stamped each file with date and time, and backed everything up on 2 hard drives. Documentation is boring until it isn't. Then it becomes a weapon. Next came measurements. I dug out my old surveyor's rod, dusted off the calibration marks, and walked the creek bed like an inspector looking for lies. Flow rates, cross-section widths, slope gradients, I recorded them all. I compared current flow to historical notes from my grandfather's notebooks, digitized county surveys, and modern hydrology references. The numbers told a story that looked nothing like Brenda's glossy flyer. Where she claimed stabilization, the data showed concentration and acceleration, exactly the conditions that undermine foundations. I called old friends and colleagues. Pete Morrison at the Colorado Water Authority answered on the 3rd ring and laughed when I told him what had happened. They poured a concrete canal through a floodplain and called it flood control, he said. They just built themselves a high-pressure water cannon. Pete agreed to run independent flow models and to testify if needed. Having a government hydrologist quietly on your side is better than any angry internet post. Then I made the calls that mattered most: EPA, County Code Enforcement, and the State Environmental Agency. I filed formal complaints, attached my photos, measurements, and copies of Pinnacle Construction's shoddy permit applications, or lack of them. Bureaucracy is slow, but it bites hard when it decides to. Within days, investigators were on the ground, taking their own samples and writing down the same violations I'd been cataloging for weeks. Martha became the public face. She set up a small social media campaign, not the angry kind, but the clear kind. Save Cottonwood Creek started with a handful of neighbors and grew to a few thousand followers faster than we expected. People sent videos, historical photos, and legal tips. Local environmental groups reached out to offer support. Trout Unlimited promised expert testimony. A law clinic at the university volunteered pro bono assistance. It felt like patching together a community out of broken trust and shared outrage. One afternoon, a young law student named Sarah Olivia showed up with a banker's box full of HOA invoices. She'd been tipped off by a neighbor who didn't trust how the contracts were awarded. Sarah had the kind of focus that makes professors nervous, meticulous, tenacious, a little fierce. "Mr. Brennan," she said, spreading papers across my workbench, "this is worse than someone making a mistake. These numbers look deliberate." She was right. The invoice